Now into the realm of the season that we are in. World Cup. Football.
What else? Football.
This is the season for football. This is that one period that the whole world focuses on nothing else except football. It's all about the World Cup. And we are about reaching the crescendo now. This weekend we'll be seeing two games that would wrap up the World Cup. And then from Monday, we can go back to normal. Or maybe for a few days, we'll be talking about the winners and the losers and the third place and all that. To join us in this conversation this morning, after the German demolition, German destruction of the host country, Brazil.
I mean, that was so embarrassing. I thought, did they go with a basket to carry the thing back home?
It's just, it's quite...
Even Nigeria didn't get 7.
No, we didn't get completely mauled by any team. We did show some good spirit and ability to defend. We shouldn't finish the conversation and forget about the gentlemen who are here to grace this show. And I will start with Deji Omotoyinbo, who's a sports analyst. Good morning and welcome. And just sitting right beside him is Iwuala. Good morning and welcome. And on the other side is Bimbo Adeola, who is a sports analyst as well. Good morning and welcome. The last shall be the first. Let me come to you first and start. Let's start with that semi-final that led to the final that we're going to see. Brazil against Germany, and then Netherlands against Argentina. Pick one. Which one really?
I want to forget the Germany Brazil.
I think everybody would.
It was ridiculous seeing the home of football dehumanized, so to say, at home, right in front of their fans. Nobody, not the best of pundits worldwide, saw that coming. Actually, yeah, we knew the Brazilians from day one, from the game against Croatia, were struggling, but we just felt perhaps their luck will carry them far enough, but not to be disgraced the way the Germans humiliated them. That was really bad. I recall in the 50s, then the Maracanazo, when Uruguay was there to take the World Cup right under their noses. And this time around, it was Germany right there, not just beating them, but humiliating them. And of course, teaching them the basics of soccer, that they're supposed to be the main lords of the sports. And it's ridiculous. The other game could go either way. We knew it was going to be very tough for the Netherlands to overcome the Argentines and the Argentines to beat the Netherlands. But the one I really want to banish in my memory is Germany-Brazil. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Do you also want to banish the thought of that game?
I'm sure the Germans will want to banish that. That will live long in their memories. I think it just underlines what football can do to you. If you are caught on the hop, if you are caught on a bad day in the office, you can be embarrassed, and that's what happened. And, you know, the Brazilians have been getting away with it, so to speak. We knew, like Bimbo said, they've been struggling in this tournament. They should and probably could have been knocked out in the previous round against Chile. It was the frame of the post that saved them the last minutes of extra time before they won that on penalties. And that's just what football does to you. If your team has deficiencies, if your team has structural deficiencies, and you meet a good team on a good day, you could be taken out. It was 4 goals in 6 crazy minutes. And that was it. So, from a Brazilian perspective, I'm sure even if they don't win this World Cup, they'll play that tape over and over and over again. But for the rest of the football world, the disappointment stemmed from the fact that you wanted to watch a semi-final, I wanted to watch something competitive. But after 30 minutes, it was over.
The game was over. Harry, what's your thought about the game? Was it a case of they just didn't have any defense whatsoever, or the defense went to sleep?
Well, earlier on, Deji has talked about having a bad day, and it was a typical bad day for the Brazilians. They've had the bad day, even in their very first game against Croatia. The penalty they got that opened the flood for them. And you see through all the other games, Brazil wasn't the Brazil everybody used to know. That sweet soccer they play wasn't there. And of course, with Scolari, maybe with his outing at Chelsea and stuff, you know that he's not a man that wants to play fancy games. But the point is that he wasn't also getting it tactically right. Team being built around Neymar. Yeah. Yes, in a game, sometimes somebody carries a team. But I thought that Neymar wasn't that strong to carry this team. everything was on his shoulder. And that wasn't the reason they lost to Germany, that Neymar wasn't there. The point was that the Germans had everything stitched. And then when they got to Brazilian where they wanted them, Bimbo said he wants to banish that from his thought. Goals make football for me. It's a game. I was celebrating that day like I was a German because I loved the goals coming in. It didn't matter how they were coming or who they were going against. But one thing is also did to me is perhaps because nobody has lost that much on his home ground. The sight of those Brazilians weeping is something I've not even seen somebody weep that way when they lose in the finals. But the sight of a whole nation, both on the streets, on TV, weeping, I said, wow. It's really
must be heartbreaking.
Powerful.
It must be. Okay, now let's move very quickly then to the losers final, as some people will call it, or third place.
Please, third place.
The third place. Now you'll be having Netherlands that will feel hard done by because they lost through penalties, and they have done well from the very beginning, the Dutch team. Now they're going to play against Brazil. Some people would think Brazil should get a little bit of something out of this. Sentiment here.
Exactly.
Sentiment.
Two things would actually come to play psychologically. The Brazilians are down right now. They are deflated. They've never been this disgraced right in front of their teaming fans in the home of football. So it's really going to be hitting them even much more harder than we thought. So it's going to be psychological on their own part. And two, they have their national pride at stake. Watching their training session yesterday, Scolari was trying to tell the boys, okay, yeah, we've not lost everything after all. Yeah, we're beaten, we're humiliated, we're disgraced right in front of the watching world, but we can still savor something before the end of the tournament. It's the third place. Let's dust ourselves, get up and do this thing. The Netherlands too, they just don't want to walk to South America and walk empty-handed. You know, they were in SC 2010, the runners-up to Spain in the World Cup, and they want to bring out something out of Brazil. Total football, they've been known for wonderful talents from the goalkeeping arena down to the forward. They really want to get something out of Brazil. So for both teams, it matters a lot. But to me, I've never really been a fan of the third place match. That's the truth. Let them go home. Those who have lost in the semifinals, pack your bags and baggages. Nobody reckons with you if you are third or fourth in the FIFA World Cup. They want to know the champion. So the real one is tomorrow. Today's. Let's just watch for the sake of just seeing a game.
Okay,
You're a very heartless man. You're a very heartless man. Somebody has to be. It's first, second, and third.
Now, let me ask you then, what's your own thought? When you look at the tactical know of Louis van Gaal and his ability to put a team together to come on strong and deliver results, they were unfortunate to some extent because the match with Argentina could have gone either way. Yeah. They played well enough to have won it, but they didn't get the goal that would have given it to them. How do you see them lining up against Brazil? Will it be with a view to further wreak havoc and cause more destruction to the already broken Brazilian team?
Honestly, I'm inclined to agree with Bimbo on this. Even Louis van Gaal has said it. It's a game nobody wants to play. Honestly speaking, it's a ritual that's been forced. If you ask those teams, would you play a third place match? If you were not compelled by the organizers, they would say no. They would say no. Because honestly speaking, for a top football player, a bronze medal at the World Cup means nothing. It means, even for a country, it means you'll be hard pressed to remember who won the third place match.
It will be difficult
the last two World Cups.
It's still a medal.
Yeah, but you'll be hard to remember. If I ask you who won the third place in the last 2-3 World Cups, you'll be stretching yourself.
It probably will not matter, but that person hanging a medal in his house saying, "Oh, we won the third place match," that medal will still count.
It's just like saying if you lose the final, that silver medal will count for something. It counts for nothing.
Well, in the eyes of the world, but to the individual, it does.
In the spirit of sport.
No, because if you're going to say what trophies have you won as a footballer, what medals have you won, you won't put third place. A coach won't put "I won third place at the World Cup" on his CV. He won't.
He will.
He has no place.
Can I say I've always bragged that I had a bronze medal in the Nuga football.
That's why you're defending
it. To me, it all originates from the spirit of the Olympics, the spirit of participation.
Yes.
It's not about have won or have lost. And it's been there from origin. FIFA is a signatory to the Olympic movement. And from beginning, it's been there. Don't be surprised someday, somebody comes up and says, this is my medal.
Harry, if you ask those Brazilian players, they will tell you they'd rather go home instead of coming around again.
Yeah, that is when you ask them.
Right now, they're deflated.
But Bimbo, it's not about them. It's about the spirit. Football is sports generally supposed to be performance, and whatever is your level of performance, you're rewarded for that.
But at this level,
so when you begin to say these boys, if you ask them, there are a lot of things you ask people to do they don't want to do. But if there is a rule, a regulation, or an expectation that this is what you should do, then you do it. I think we should even, at this stage, even the younger players, also begin to let them know that even a fourth place is something, I mean, maybe a certificate to go away with it.
Okay, now I do agree with you, but because I know somebody who has won a silver at the Olympics and still doesn't regard it as anything. He still wants to win that gold, that elusive gold. But like he was saying, the spirit is all in taking part.
Yeah.
Even if it is fourth place, it is something you can build on for next time. This is the lesson we should be teaching our children.
Yeah.
Don't, because you are in fourth place today, give up. Go next time and try and win the gold.
there are teams who have celebrated a second place performance at the World Cup, who have welcomed their teams.
Right.
Open
Colombia,
arms.
they were dancing
Colombia
on the streets.
or Algeria,
Algeria.
and all that. The point I'm trying to make about this is that
Yes.
there's some countries where expectations are high.
Nigeria.
For countries like Germany and Argentina, whoever loses tonight, that's whoever that will not mean anything to them because they are used to winning. And the ethos, ask Messi if he wins the silver medal tonight, if it's going to mean anything to him. Ask the German coach, because they've been final in 2002, semi-finals in 2006, semi-finals 2010, another silver now. I agree with Harry. It's a spirit in participation, yeah. But if you play like the Brazilians, if you're a footballer in Brazil, you're judged by how many medals have you won?
Top place match is
How many
punishment
World
for
Cups
not
have
being
you
the
won?
best.
And even right now,
Okay,
Messi
let me ask this round. Let me ask this question round. I'll start with you, Deji. Would you rather look in your box where you keep medals and you put trophies and so on, find it empty, or at least have a third place medal, a second, and possibly one winning one?
If it's
But if you would rather not
if it's
have
at the
nothing.
Olympics, fine. At the World Cup, third place, second
You'd
place.
rather have nothing.
I'd
there.
rather have-
Well, you're a
Winner.
footballer.
Winner.
You would rather. You would rather
I'd rather
have
win the top
gold.
prize.
But if you don't, would you be like Nigeria or any other team and come back empty-handed?
With nothing.
What would be your preference? Come back empty-handed? Yes or no?
Honestly,
Would you prefer?
It's a winner takes all football world.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
But
so
would
I've
you?
answered the question.
No, you haven't.
I'd rather not win anything.
Okay, Harry,
Yeah.
would you rather have nothing?
Well, like they will say on the street, that's all, I ain't bad.
Seriously, I'd rather not win nothing. Let me give you an example. I support Rangers International of Enugu. To me, it's the best club in the world.
1984.
For over 30 years, we've not won a trophy. But we've been in finals of the FA Cup in Nigeria. Nobody reckons with that. We've been in the we've been second in Nigeria Premier League. Nobody reckons with that. Let me switch to England. Arsenal. They play in the FA Cup final. They play in the Carling Cup final. Nobody reckons with that. Nobody reckons with a loser. They want to see who wins. The World Cup is about the winner. Okay, like Deji did say, they remember Brazil. They remember the last winner, Spain. They celebrated because for several decades, they were yearning to win the FIFA World Cup. They've never won it. The Netherlands, they've been so close severally. This time again, they've not won. Nobody remembers them. Despite the fact that we have the Johan Cruyffs of this world, they play total football, they're awesome on the pitch. Nobody wants to remember you. It's either win or nothing.
Okay, it's good you said that. It's quite interesting, but the bottom line is it is not about what people remember. It is what about what you remember of your competition and your
you wouldn't want to
participation.
remember. They decided Lionel Messi's example. He's won everything on the face of the earth. He's not won the World
Except
Cup.
the
If
World
he
Cup.
doesn't win the World Cup tomorrow, Messi would rather forget the silver that will be given tomorrow.
He would rather forget he ever took part in the
In the World
finals.
Cup.
Maybe
Yes,
we
in
need
the
to,
finals.
maybe we need to
Okay.
prove proviso. Maybe
Yes.
to proviso. For some countries, it's the ultimate. If you're a Brazilian footballer, they ask you how many World Cups have you won. Maybe if you come down to maybe some countries where you have realistic expectations, okay, if you take part, it's fantastic. If you get to the second round, great. But for those, what I'll call the big four footballing countries, and if you might add Brazil, Argentina, Germany, Italy, I may add Holland, England, and all that, winning is it. Because they've won before, especially when they feel that their preparations justify them yearning to win. And that's the way it is. You mentioned Arsenal. A lot of Arsenal fans are happy because Arsenal won the FA Cup. For those 8 years, nothing they did mattered to them. And that's the way football is. I agree with her in the sense that, yeah, participation is important, your level of, but when you have attained a certain level like Messi has of expectations and achievement, you want the best. You want to go for it every time.
Okay.
Well, until I see a football player who leaves the stadium and throws away his medal, I will not believe that
Silver
they will
or
appreciate
bronze?
bronze.
Any medal.
And throw it away.
They will
I will
not
not
throw
believe
it
that they
away.
don't appreciate it.
Even
Yes,
the ball, they
yeah.
want to hold it and get it signed, autographed, and keep it and say, I was in the finals, here is the ball. They would want to. I don't understand the logic of what you're saying. It doesn't make any sense to me, but let's come back to the real issue. Who do you